Hey YouTube, just reading a article that an appeals court struck down the individual mandate, um, which was repealed. The individual mandate was part of the train wreck of Obamacare, which basically says that you have to have insurance or they're going to charge you a tax. It's a penalty, is what it really is. But Chief Justice Roberts decided he was going to do an unconstitutional act and write legislation and basically called it a tax. When it's not a tax, it's a penalty. Anyway, that aside, what I advocated Republicans do is define a tax. And it's very simple. If they would have simply added a line to the tax code or passed a law that said a tax shall only be considered a tax when it follows a voluntary act of commerce. If they would have defined what a tax is, that would have eliminated the individual mandate penalty. So, and when you think about what I just said, it makes sense to most of us because what is a tax? A tax is always something. When you buy a gallon of gas, there's tax on that. When you buy a car, there's tax. When you buy a gallon of milk, there's tax. When you have a job and get a paycheck, there's a tax. But that tax always comes after you voluntarily went out and did something. You voluntarily bought a gallon of milk, bought a gallon of gas, bought a house, or got a job. Okay? What they've essentially said is just because you're born, you have to now pay a tax. Buy insurance or you're going to pay a tax / penalty. So what I would do is simply call and urge your legislators, if you agree with me, and just simply have them insist that they define what a tax is. And the way I look at it, again, a tax follows a voluntary act of commerce. This will help keep legislators in the future from imposing taxes on us or / penalties, as you know, that's what it technically was. The Obama administration went to the Supreme Court and called it a penalty, but Chief Justice Roberts decided no, it's a tax. So he changed the legislation, which he can't do. They don't have legislative powers at the Supreme Court. But anyway, if you think that's a good idea, if you don't want Congress to pass penalties in under the guise of it being a tax, write your legislators and have them define what a tax is. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Love to hear some feedback. Take care.